Okay, let's pray. Dear God, we thank you that today we come again to study how to serve you. Help us to learn and understand the counseling of family and uh, marriage, that we know that we can help the couple and the whole family to getting better and get closer to you too. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, let's see. Okay, on chapter 2, we talk about EFTs theory. In this lesson, they will use a lot of symbol and short form instead of saying the whole thing. But here it's more about the counseling that concentrate on emotion. It normally here represent emotion. So we talk about how to deal with emotion and thinking. Now you know that this semester we're going to concentrate on some theory about family problem or marriage problem. And we try to concentrate on how to change what people feel or think by concentrate on what they feel in the past, in the present, and in the future. So they believe in this theory that what people feel and what people think relate to one another. If you feel bad, you always think bad too. So the theory go on deep down, like what Jesus said, that you get from inside out. What you think, what you feel will express out outside your life. It's not what you act come by itself, but the action come from what you think and what you feel inside. Start from inside. So this theory will try to deal with what you feel in the past, in the present, and in the future. What you feel, what you think, in a good way, bad way. And the whole thing of this course will try to control your feeling, change your feeling, and make it to work out and make it better for your whole family. As like last week, we tried to find out what kind of mechanism that we use when we face problem. Some of you might run away. Some of you might just try to bury it or ignore it. Some of you might fight back or some other way that people some ignore. But the problem is always there. It's just how you deal with the problem. So here in this theory, they try to find out what you feel and try to change it for better. And they're talking about the theory that they think that we ignore our feeling for too long. The feeling is always there. It will pop up from time to time. Even you see that, you say, oh, I don't feel anything anymore about the past, but it's still there. So this theory tries to dig out what caused your problem. And you know that all this theory believe that the problem that what you feel in the past still affect your life, your family, and your marriage. You know it or not, or you accept it or not, it's still there. So all this theory try to find out how you feel and try to dig them up and deal with them and offer you a better option. What you're doing right now might not be the best option. So the theory here try to find the best solution for you and help you develop a new way to deal with the situation. And here they go down, they use the scientific theory, they use the psychological theory, but as I say, This is the Christian counseling. So they also use Bible as a standard to deal with problem and to help people. The main difference that I mentioned last week about regular counseling is they try to make you happy, and they don't care what makes you happy. They will support you to do it. But for Christian counseling, we have the Bible as the guideline. We have God that we need to honor. So we cannot recommend you to do everything to make you feel good. We tell you the limit, what you can do, what you cannot do, and what is the best option from the Christian perspective that you can choose. A lot of things you will find out here from the Christian perspective, the Christian way. And here the theory will go on about your brain. A lot of things that you need to spend some time read about them and find out that they use a lot of theory from a scientific way to deal with a lot of situations. So it means that they use all knowledge that they can get and all the modern study research to find the best way to help you. And here, a lot more article here will deal with how to find out the cause of your feeling. And they mean that they sum up that you feel good, you feel bad, you feel sad, or you feel lost. It comes from your feeling. Something they call trigger. And the trigger is something that will go on with you. When they use the word trigger, they mean that you might never feel anything for a while, but for some situation, the trigger is there. So it's like they put the button and all your feeling will come out. Even it's not related to that situation right now, but it's something that inside you that waiting to come out when the trigger put the button, then everything show up. So they talk about that too. Each one of you will have different trigger because of you have different experience. And they will offer a few therapy, mean that the way to deal with your problem, your feeling, and how to help you. And they will tell a lot about how to deal with the situation step by step. The textbook will have more detail. And beside the textbook, they will have a handbook that you can use with when you work on a situation. So if you feel that you need the textbook or the handbook, you can get it online or buy it. But it's just a lot more detail that you need to deal with. So they say that many theory talking about how we feel and how we have different emotion on different time, even when you face the same problem. So it doesn't mean that you will feel the same thing every time, but you have a pattern of feeling to deal with a certain situation. For example, when someone look down on you, criticize you, you will have a pattern of reaction. If you are the type of ignoring or try to avoid, you might pretend not to hear it or try to ignore everything, like that person has never been there and you did not hear anything. You shut down everything from inside. But deep down, you still hear it, you still feel it. But outside, it might show that, oh, I did not care. I don't hear it. I don't know anything what he's talking about. but deep down there, you hear everything, you feel everything. So now you have two problems to deal with. What your reaction and what inside you are not the same thing. And that they say that going to be big problem in the future. And they say that a lot of things that you have done is just a mechanism that to protect yourself from harm, from hurt. So this is something they want you when you come to the section to deal with some problem in your family. And you might think that it not relate to the old past, what happened to you, but they say it relate in some way. Because the past form you for the present and will predict what you will react for the future. And they say that we all have a wound, mean that in our past we all have some certain weak point. When people hit that point, you always break down or you can explode because we all wound in the past. We all will have a weak point in our life before. And here they will tell you about a certain principle that they could use in this theory in chapter 2. So, okay, there are steps here that they want to share with you that I can explain a little bit more here. The first step they want you to know is awareness. Mean that I say all the time that a lot of time you ignore it. You don't want to face it. And you try to forget about it. But they say that that's not going to help the situation. The whole process here, they try to bring you back to aware of the situation of the problem. It means that they want you to face the real problem head on. If you hide it, they want you to dig them up. If you ignore it in the past, now they want you to face it. So the first thing is you need to aware of the problem. You need to find out what is the cause of the problem. They will help you in the therapy section. Your counselor will help you dig them up, find them out, and try to focus on what is the problem. And you need to accept it. This is the first step, awareness. This is the first thing that they want on you to realize the situation. And when you give counseling to your people, the first step also here is you need to find a problem and they need to accept it that this is their problem. If they don't know their problem, you cannot help them. And if they ignore or don't accept that this is the problem, you cannot work with them too. So the first step is so important. Everyone aware of the problem. You can focus on it and you can pay attention to it. It might not be easy as you think, and it might not be present as you hope. Because for some people, this is hurtful. This is something they don't want to face. But this is the fact. And in this theory, they believe that if you don't accept it, if you don't aware of it, you cannot help them. So this is the first step. Face it and deal with it. Accept it and acknowledge it. It's one of the most difficult steps that you need to help your people come to this point. Aware of the problem, accept it. And the second one, in general, that what you try to do in this theory is try to help your people, the couple, the family who come to you, find a way to express what they feel down there. They hurt, they're angry, they're sad, or what they feel. They need to express out. It's no one that perfect, mean that some people might think that, oh, they need to be happy all the time. No. A lot of situations, they cannot be happy. They need to be sad. They need to cry. Or they need to be angry. Let that be. Don't try to control them now. This is the second step that you help your people express what they feel. Angry, sad, depressed, anxiety. They need to express their feeling out first. And this is the second step. Besides find out the problem, accept it. The second step is help them to know how to express their emotion, their feeling out. And nothing right, nothing wrong here. It just want them to release what inside them. And number three, we call regulation. What that means? Mean that sometimes the anger is so high, so strong, can destroy the person's lives of the whole family. You try to help them to regulate, mean that control it. Come out step by step, or not going out, explode in one time. You can help them slow down, express it out slowly, and try to work it out. So this can be done by all kind of exercise too. They might teach the people how to breathe and try to relax and lay down. So there's belief that when you relax your body, your emotion can be relaxed in the same time. So they will use all kind of theory to help you learn how to regulate all your emotion, your feeling. And in the safe way, mean that in the past, it might not be safe for them to express what they feel, but now they can trust you, or in the place that they know that they are safe. Number four step, they call reflection. They sum up that a lot of things that you learn and the people who come to see you have learned, it comes from the reflection, mean that they think back about the past and think that what happened and why they do what they did, why they did what they did, or why they don't do what they should do. So this is the learning, come back to learn about the past that already happened and try to think why or why not. The fifth step, when you help the people to this far, you try to change them now. You will plan a few steps to help them, the whole family, to change what's going on. Now, you're going to forgive. Now, you're going to find a way to do the right thing now. What should you do? Forgive them and find a way to talk with them, or find a way to make yourself happy. Mean that you want to join a certain group that support you, or you want to join an exercise club that help you relax, or whatever. This is the transformation process that you try to help the family or the couple build up a plan that going to help them in the long term. And they have a plan that when they face the same situation again, they have option, better option now. So this is we call the transformation process. It's not going to take one time. Some family or some couple will take several years in this process to work. And in the process of many months or many years, you work with them step by step. Improve the process, change the process, make it work for them. So this is in general what we get to do. And the last step is they call the corrected experience of emotion. It means that now you already help them build a new emotion, a new way to express themselves in the constructive way, in the Christian way, that accepted by God and by the Bible standard, not by this world standard. So you see that it have to be step by step to help your people, your family who have problem, to deal with that problem and change to a new one that better for them and for everyone. And that is all the planning step. Number 7, it means that this is the real counseling will take place. Now you see that all the steps that you take, that the planning process. And then it's a long term of counseling now. It might take several times, several months, or even several years to make each step work. And number 7 is that you plan each month, each time, what you need to do. So this is about the whole thing about chapter 2. Is the counseling section that concentrate on changing the emotion, the feeling of the family or the people. But here, not just feeling, it means the way they think too. Whatever inside them, you try to change that and make it better. And this is how the whole theory is all about. Okay, EFT come from the word emotion, focus, treatment. And I say that in this theory, they believe that all that happened to people that have problems is related to how they feel and how they think from inside that affect the action. So we try to find out about their feeling, their thinking, and try to change it, make it better. So this is about EFT, that the whole thing is all about emotion, focus, treatment. And if you want to read the whole chapter in the book, it's from chapter 3 of the book by Johnson. Okay, this is the sum up of the whole chapter about how to deal with emotion or feeling and thinking. And this theory concentrates on how to change what people feel, what people think, to make their life better. Now, I want you to think that what can you use from this theory in your counseling section with your people? You think you're going to find a way to make it work?
Number one, we have to find out what the problem what they have,
Yes,
and then get to know. I think that's the first step.
yes. Now you see that this is very sensitive topic. So the people need to trust you completely. If not, they're not going to tell you a lot of things about what they feel, what they think. And you know that as a professional counselor, you need to keep everything secret. You cannot share what they tell you or what they share with you in the counseling section to anyone, even your spouses or your family. So this is all the secret, the professional secret that you cannot share with anyone. They trust you to tell the story, but you cannot share the story with anyone. Well, some people say how I like the casework or present the case to class if I cannot tell the story. Well, you can use that, but change all the name, change all the situation. So people will not know who they are. And you can keep them secret that way. So can we start right? The first step in helping your people is to find out the problem first. And you know that I face many situations that people come to me and talk about a certain thing, but later on I find out that is not the main problem. That's just the symptom of a main problem. So what that mean? What they think that is the problem is not the real cause of problem. For example, you cough and you sneeze, you go to the doctor, and you think that you have a cold, that's why you sneeze, you cough. But after all the tests, they found out that no, you got COVID. You don't get a cold. So why the problem is a lot serious than what you think. And sometimes you just have some tummy ache and you don't feel good with all the gas all the time. You might think that maybe you have ulcer problem or something. You go to check and the result come out that you got stomach cancer. That a lot serious than that. But they have a lot of similar symptoms.
So, Ajahn,
Unmute.
oh, I did it. Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes.
So basically, the emotional focus treatment is you really have to listen to two sides of the problem. You can't just listen to one person. If it's a marriage counseling, you have to analyze two sides of what's really going on. Right, Ajahn?
Yep, you need to listen and find out from everyone. It's not just one or two. If the whole family get involved, the whole family have part in the problem too. So this is why we also talk about family counseling too. And you see the session some session you meet with the person, each one individually. And some session you meet with the whole family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want me to mute?
อาจารย์
Yes.
First step, how do we earn their trust? How can we gain their trust? Because I think a lot of time they even though they're struggling, but they don't want to come and talk to us.
Well, there are many ways that you can earn that trust. You know that this job is normally you need to have the training, the education, and you need to have license. To be professional, you need to have license. Mean that you have the degree, you have the training, and you pass the test, and you have the license to do the job. So professionally, you equip. And you know all the way to help people. It's like a doctor. And this is the doctor of emotion, of feeling. So that credential. And another thing is, a lot of time people will come to you in general and did not tell you much because they try to learn that they can trust you or not. So it depends on many more things that why people trust you with their problem. You have any idea why people trust you? Yeah.
Buy them a lunch.
It worked for you,
Bring-
Cao?
Bring them to go fishing,
Okay.
to go a trip.
Oh,
Now, like Ajahn say, so is that like when we have a degree and we have a license, and then we let them know that I've been training and I know exactly how to handle that the problem you have.
Yeah, that one side, because people know that you qualify credentially, knowledge, you have enough knowledge to deal with the situation. But another way, as a Christian counselor, people will trust you or not. It depends on more things. It get involved with culture and how your church structure, and also what your role in that church too. Since we do the Christian counseling, we deal a lot with church members.
So I think they have to get to know in there personally, like what we talk, and then we will walk with that, and they can trust, and they spread the exactly problem what they have. And one thing, so like Ajahn take the airplane, go to the Thailand, so Ajahn trust that our airplane can make it there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we don't worry. We just go in there and sit down and relax, and sooner or later we'll be there. So because the airplane normally not oftenly to have a problem.
Yeah, because we trust the system will work out. But you know that yesterday they just get an airplane pilot, Southwest Airline pilot. The security caught him, he drunk.
Oh,
The pilot is drunk.
The police had to go in and drag him out of the airplane. He drunk.
อาจารย์ can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I think ให้คนที่ให้ for someone to trust you, you have to be a good character. You have to be a good person, how you live your life, especially as a Christian. Because if you come to me because you trust me and I live my life a good way, and for me to counsel you, to say the right things, to pray with you and put God first. Yeah.
Yeah. After you talk with them one time, people can decide that they can trust you or not. So always the first section can make it or break it.
That's true. It's very true.
I think for them to trust you, they have to get to know you. So I think that's number one. And like a person called me today, so he want me to have a life insurance, to sell me a life insurance, and he talked with me for a little while, and then I don't know where he from, and I don't know you the right person, because we have so many scam right now. And he said, he talked to me with me for a little while, and then he asked my birthday and my social. I said, I cannot give to you right now. You first time you talk to me, and I don't know who you are, so I cannot trust him because I don't know him. I think the same thing when we when we get the people to trust us, they have to get to know us first.
You're right. So sometimes you don't know the person directly, but some people recommend. Some people that both sides know and trust. So that we call connection or reference. And we use a lot of that. Reference mean that some people that know you well and know both sides well is the connector.
Yes.
That's true, John. You have to have a good character for someone to, because you have to live right, live good, and live clean. You can't be alcoholic or a drug user or a gambler, or or if you have a wife, be a bad person. So your character is really number one. And number one, Jesus puts us to live right, so we can help others in the right character.
Yeah.
What happened with Aaron?
Oh yeah. Where are they? Aaron and Monica is not here today. And Robert too. He say he want to take class, but I did not see him today too.
I
Yeah,
just saw
Robert,
Robert too, Ajahn, that when at the ordination, yeah. He said he tried to come in. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he might forget. Yeah, but Monica and Aaron, hopefully they don't forget. But anyway, next week we have a vacation week, so next week we don't have class. But today we're going to cover chapter 3. You have any more questions on chapter 2 that we just discussed? Okay, let me go on chapter 3 with you. Let's see. Okay, chapter 3. Now, chapter 3, we go more in detail about EFT, emotion focused therapy. So this is from the chapter 2 of the textbook that they're talking about. We're talking about 2 chapters, chapter 4 and chapter 5, chapter 6 in the textbook. So what they talk about? They talk about the basic thing. And here the sum up of chapter 2 in the textbook. There is an example of the family, a couple who need counseling. And we sum up that when they give counseling, the wife don't really feel happy so much about the husband. She don't trust him at all. So this is the example they use to show that a lot of couples come to them with problems about trust. And it might not show out clearly that I don't trust my husband. I don't expect anything from my spouse. And they try to use the example here to tell us that how you help the couple, the family, they don't trust anyone. They don't trust one another because people fail them all the time. And they don't expect anything better. It means that they don't have hope at all. So this is one example they're going to use and to help you build a plan how to help them. And they use example like a dance. This is one of the steps that you could use in your dance. They say that like a couple dance together with the music. They have steps that you need to take, so you will not step on one another's feet. You know how to step together as a couple. So this is the example how they could use the section to help the couple or the family to work together without stepping on each other's feet all the time. And in chapter 12 in the textbook, they talk about trauma. So what that mean? It means that a lot of couples have deep wound that they caused one another for many years. They call trauma. It means that something so serious. And a lot of time they try to forget about it. But the wound always there. Deep down there, they still have a wound. They call a trauma. And it can wrap up from time to time and cause problem forever. And here in this textbook, they will offer the way to deal with that trauma. They use the word forgiveness and reconciliation. They mean they believe that in Christian way, we need to forgive and build a new relationship. So you see that they will jump back and forth between psychology and Christian teaching. They try to deal with both in the same time. Okay, psychology found the problem and Christian try to find a way to deal with it. And how we work together between the two knowledge, science and Christianity. Sometimes you might feel awkward, but a lot of time it look like it works. Christian with science, and science work with Christian to help people who have problems. So the theory and the author try to tell us that we can work together. We are not enemy. Science and Christianity are not enemy. We can rely on one another to work out to help our people who face all kinds of problems. So that is something we need to find out. We know that a lot of science is against Christianity. But they say that real science is stand with Christianity. Because the real science looking for the truth. And God say, I'm the truth. So real science is looking for God too. But they didn't know that. They not acknowledge that they're looking for God. Because God say, I'm the truth. I am the fact. If scientists looking for the fact, for the truth, that is God. So we can work together. So a lot of scientists are not real scientists because they cannot find God and they don't accept God, which is the truth. And in the chapter, they will always put the word affair. They say this is the most serious problem in Christian couple, in Christian family, affair. Some people break their vow and have extra marriage activity with someone else. And this is the serious problem. And a lot of couples know and try to hide the problem. Or one side know, but ignore the situation. But deep down there, the emotions still flare up from time to time. They fight all the time. Or sometimes people suspicious of their spouse. It true or not, we don't know. But suspicion can destroy their family too. About affair. So a lot of things that this chapter will try to deal with. And now they say that some of the basic things, in fact, if we go back and forth, try to find out when you try to build up a section to help the couple or the family, you need to find out some basic things. And in the chapter, they talk about 5 basic moves, like when you dance. I don't know how to dance, but they use the illustration of the couple dancing together. They say that 5 basic moves, maybe 1 step forward, 1 step backward, 1 step sideways, or 1 step left, or something. So this is the illustration. They say 5 basic steps or move. They say the first one, expanding emotional experience. They sum up what they do. Try to find out what you feel. It always go back to the basic, mean that find out the problem. Why you feel that way? What caused your feeling? So this is the root of problem. Because for them, the main thing, if you can deal with their emotion, how they feel, and you can solve a lot of problem already. You feel bad, can you change that to be feel better or feel good? If you feel fear, can you make them feel secure? If they feel hopeless, how can you make them feel hopeful? So you see that they talk a lot about emotion. It's the foundation of a happy person. They feel good, they're happy, they're secure, they have hope. How you make them feel the good feeling? And people say that you feel good, that solve the problem. Well, this is the first step. Because in this theory, they believe that it starts inside you. The problem might be outside, but to deal with everything, it starts from inside you. The problem's still there, but if you feel better already, it's already half solved. That's what they believe in this theory. If you have hope, you're happy, the problem already half solved. So that's what they believe in this theory. Deepening, intensify emotional experience. As we talked early on, they want you to find out what you feel and express them out. Don't hide it, accept it. Validation means that let people know how you feel and accept it, that it's reasonable to feel that way. Like your husband cheat on you, you feel angry, and you try not to show that you're angry because you think that as a Christian you should not be angry. But you have to give them assurance that you have the right to be angry. It's okay to be angry with a good reason. The Bible forbids us to angry all day, all night, and forever without forgiving. But you can be angry at a certain time, for how long, and then you need to deal with that. Now, step 4, or the dance number 4, is build a new, better response, better feeling to deal with the situation. And number 5, find out why you feel bad or the negative side effect of that feeling. You have to deal with them and try to change them. What they affect you when you get angry inside, what it caused you. You cannot sleep, you cannot study, you cannot work, and you're unhappy. So you see the side effect of that feeling is everywhere. And they try to help you find out what the side effect of your bad feeling in your life from that situation. And mapping the dance means that now, after you know everything, you plan how to deal with the situation, step by step, change the feeling, change the plan, and change your life. So this is the step by step that you need to build with the couple or build with the family that come to see and seek your help. And when you have a plan, you start working with them and then help them practice a good option. when they decide that what is the better option to deal with the situation. So help them to stick with the plan and make it work. In the end, another section of this chapter will deal with Christian teaching. Mean that you see in normal psychology, they will talk about anger, and punishment for the one who make mistake. And they feel that you can punish them, you can take action, and revenge is okay. But from the Christian perspective, revenge is not okay. You already hurt, and everyone they hurt enough. Christian way and teaching is forgiveness and reconciliation, mean that forgive and make friend again. It's like what we learned from Jesus. He never fight back. On the cross, he forgave everyone. And that is the real victory. But as a human being, we cannot do it ourselves. Only God can do that. So in Christian way, the counselor will pray with the family and the couple to ask God for help and for strength that we can forgive and we can move on to a better life. So only Christian can do that. The normal counselor cannot do that. So this is how we help people to rebuild a new and better relationship by forgiveness. And I can tell you it's not easy. Only God can help us to forgive. A lot of things people cannot forgive at all. They hurt for so long, they feel betrayed, they feel that people ignore them for so long. But in God, anything possible. So you see that one thing I overemphasize about Christian counseling is you pray a lot and you pray with them a lot too. And help them to draw strength from God and from their prayer. And here another way they sum up the trauma. The word trauma, they always use something, the wound that's so deep, emotional wound, emotional problem that have been so long and so deep. We call trauma. It's not a little feeling, it's a deep, deep, serious, bad feeling. We call trauma. And a lot of couple, a lot of family have that trauma since they're young or last for many years already. And you might say that we call attachment. It's only stick up with their life wherever they go, whenever it will come up one day. It can be physical, emotional, or sexual abuse that happen to the couple or to the family, or have been ignored for so long, or the loss of parent or someone that they love since they're young, and never deal with that feeling of loss. And domestic violence in the situation of abuse, substance abuse, criminal activity. And they say that a lot of things happen when you see the people are so young. And they might already forget about that after many years, but it's still there. The trauma is still there. It imprints in their life, even they don't remember. And sometimes you need to help them bring it back because they already forget. Consciously, they forget, but subconsciously, it's still there. Now we use the word psychology about conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Mean that conscious mean that something you still realize, you still know, you still can remember. Subconscious is something you already forget, you cannot remember. In the natural way, you cannot remember. It come out in your dream or come out in your hypnotized section. And in sometimes they call unconscious, something you don't know at all. There are subconscious and unconscious. Okay, many other things that can be trauma, anything that have been there for so long and they forget about it. Okay, another section talk about 4 signs of unhealed attachment trauma. Now they want you to learn that when you see this sign, it means that something going on. And the person might not realize it, but you as a therapist, you are a counselor, you need to observe that. It's like you are the doctor. When the sick people come to you, they might not know that they are sick, but they don't feel good. And then you need to check with them, observe them, see that they have any symptom. Trauma. And when you have a lot of experience, you can see the people. The trauma can be like they show their anxiety. When you ask them certain questions, they feel guilt or they feel shame. They don't want to talk. They try to ignore. They try to get away from your question. So now you see that there is some problem there. They don't want to deal with that problem. They don't want to deal with that question. They try to get away from answer a certain question. So now you can get the first clue. They have something that they don't want to talk with, something they don't want to deal with. That can be trauma. Dissociation mean that the person that come to you, they show that they don't trust anyone. They don't want to share the secret because they feel that they cannot trust anyone. They don't want anyone to know their secret. They don't want to talk. They keep quiet, too quiet. And number 3, we call withdrawal, mean that they are with you in the room, but they are not there. They're thinking their mind is somewhere else. They don't deal with the situation. They don't want to deal with whatever going on. It's like the absent-minded. And number 4 sign is unexplained chronic physical, psychological symptom. Number 4 sign is these people have problems, but they don't know. So they get sick emotionally, physically, and they don't know why they get sick because they have trauma so deep. They don't remember or they don't want to deal with. It's barely there and it pops up in their body. For example, they cannot sleep, they worry too much, they gain weight, or many other symptoms that pop up in their body. It means that they have trauma inside, in their emotion, or in their history. So this is the 4th sign that you need to observe. It pop up in their body, in their pattern of life. They don't act normal. They withdraw, they try to don't get engaged when you talk with them. They're hiding something. So this is some sign that you as a counselor, you need to observe when people come to you to talk to you and need your help. And this is how you find out that they have trauma, deeper than what they want to tell. And it means that you have another layer of job to find out what the trauma that person have that they did not tell you. Without knowing all this trauma, you cannot help them because you don't deal with the real problem. You try to deal with something that they tell you. It might not be true. It might not be all the whole picture. It's like the iceberg. It's just 10% on top that you see. Another 90% is under the water. You don't see it, but it's a lot bigger problem down there. So how you deal with that? how you help the people. You need to find out. Yes, the first step is to sit down with them, observe them, talk with them, and let them share. And sometimes when they don't talk, you might have to tell story or try to make friends first until they trust you. And then the story will come out. Okay, this is the general idea of all the 2-3 chapters that I sum up for you. And you can go more in deeper by reading and have questions. Okay, I will come for your question and discussion. This is chapter 3 of what we learned tonight. So,
And
yes, me.
I'm sorry, I just want to double check. So the subconscious is loom, and also the unconscious is remember, right?
Okay, conscious is something you know, you remember, like when you're awake, you're conscious.
Yeah.
But subconscious is something deeper that normally we don't find it out. You need to get it from some other thing that make it pop up. Like in psychological section, they call they hypnotize you.
Okay.
So our problem will be in different level. Something you know, something you don't know, something you already forget.
John, do we hypnotize anybody, or we don't do that, right? As a Christian.
Well, we don't talk about magic here. We don't talk about spirit here. No.
Yeah.
In psychology, it just means that the psychology will guide the people step by step to remember the past. So not everyone will go through to remember the past, but some people can. It just try to help your mind to calm down and think back many years ago that you already forget. Try to dig back your memory. And that we call scientific hypnotize. So the people, when they have problem, they come to you. If they're sincere to you, they tell you everything. It's just the thing that they remember. But there's still a lot more thing that they don't remember. And a lot more thing that they suppress, mean that they try to forget. But those are things that you need to find out, because those most of the time, the thing that try to forget and the thing that try to suppress are the problem.
John?
Yes, yes.
I just want to continue with the hypnotizing. What do you think about hypnotizing?
Well, I don't want you to go deep in that sense, because I know in the old experience, you might feel that this is some kind of magic or some kind of spirit, but in scientific way, it is not at all. It's just the way the psychologists guide people to remember something in the past. They will tell them to calm down and try to remember things that happened long time ago that they forget or don't want to remember. But we help them to remember. I believe that sometimes your wife or your husband help you remember something you already forget long time ago. They just guide you step by step that, oh, 10 years ago in a certain place, we do something, you already forget about it. And sometimes you don't want to remember something. Your wife might tell you, oh, I still remember. And she help you remember.
So technically, hypnotizing is not bad, huh? It's not a magic. It's not black magic thing.
Well, it depends. If the scientific way is not magic, it's just science of the mind. But I know in the black magic, it can be bad because they involve bad spirit. But scientific way is not spirit, it's just science. It just helps your mind to concentrate and to remember. Because they believe that our brain is like computer. We have a hard drive and you store everything from birth. It's just so deep that you cannot retry it. So you need to search that. It's always there. Whatever happened in your life is always imprinted in your brain, in your computer, in your hard drive. Yes, Kat.
So, John, so what is the benefit to people who already forgot the thing that they're not supposed to remember? So why should we have to predict it?
Well, the problem is we never fully forget. It comes up when you are asleep in your dream. Or it comes up when you in some situation, it pop up, but you don't know, you don't remember what is that, but it haunted you. So some people cannot sleep or have bad dream all the time. It comes from those bad memory.
Oh, that is the point. Yes.
Yeah. So this is why they need to dig them out to deal with, to collect it.
Oh, John, so
Yes.
since I'm the marriage counselor, and what if they tell me the problem and it's really, really deep and really hard? Do I have the right to tell them maybe you need to go on some medication to help you out? Or do I don't say that because that's not right?
Well, only the medical doctor can prescribe medicine. So counselor cannot.
Tell them take some Tylenol. You got a headache, take some Tylenol and go sleep.
Well, the Christian way, we tell them to pray.
John,
Yes.
back to the remember memories. How far can we go? How far can we go to remember our the past? From what age?
You might be surprised that some people can go back since they're a few years old. It depends on how trauma the experience is. If something real bad happened to you when you just a few years old, it's still there. It will pop up in your dream, in your nightmare. And we might call it unfinished business.
You know, I'm talking about it's to be personal about my son, my little guy.
Yes.
He's 4 years old. So can we think that he can remember back to maybe 1 year old, or maybe when he was in his mom's womb?
Well, by theory, we can remember everything back since we have experience with it, but it's just how we can explain it or not. So like little baby, they have feeling and they remember and they forget. But a lot of time they cannot explain what they feel or can show out what they feel, but it's there. So it's just how we deal with that, how we help them to deal with that feeling or trauma.
For myself, I remember a lot of things for myself on the past. Since I'm 5 years old, I remember. I still remember something like happened to me, happened that on that time.
Yeah, a lot of memory have to be very strong, like very good or very bad. And when you get older, you might remember them clearer. It's like your brain try to shuffle and try to reorganize all the memory. When you talk about the past a lot, it means that you're getting older. Your brain start working backward.
Yeah, John. So because we're a Christian counselor for the marriage, family marriage, the demons also know to attack a good person, a good Christian counselor. So ผีมาสตาร์มันก็บางครั้งเข้ามาได้หรอ through them.
Yes. That's why Christian counselor need to depend on God, and you have to pray with your patient or your client. Well, you see, the people who come to you in psychological term, we call them client or patient. And one thing I need to remind all of you is you need to be prepared emotionally, spiritually too, because you're dealing with something for some situation very serious. And sometimes when you not prepare yourself well, you got attacked too. Mean that it overwhelm you. So when you want to deal with all this situation, be ready. Mean that you have to prepare emotionally, spiritually, and mentally to deal with the problem, the situation. Believe me, some students who work in this field get sick because of trying to help people or break down themselves when they have to deal with a lot of problems of their patient or their client.
Are you talking about emotionally?
Yep, and it can pop up physically too.
Wow.
So you need to know how much you can handle and don't try to do more than what you can handle. Okay, this course will demand you to do the real counseling too. So you might start thinking about who that you can give counseling to or to help. And in a lot of situations, you can plan ahead and see how much you can do in each situation. So in which step that make you feel uncomfortable as a counselor? Or which situation that make you feel uncomfortable?
Ajay, you asking questions?
Yes.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't. For me and Farm, we never done it, so we don't know, Ajahn.
Mm.
I think it would be, since you're new to start counseling, it would be uncomfortable if the client becomes violent or aggressive, and then you try to calm them down, and you can't have a conversation anymore. You're just trying to calm them down if they get cuckoo crazy,
Mm. Yeah, in Christian counseling, there's different situation. Yeah, Kat, you want to?
Yeah, the one is more difficult for me. I believe the unhealed, that trauma. So that's a very difficult because they have put in their heart, they don't want to deal with you, they don't want to talk with you, they don't open it. That one is very difficult for me. We have that kind of a person a lot in order me and Farm. We have this kind of person a lot.
Unless we want
Yeah, we try our best. I believe one couple's completely 100% come back now. Very good. But I don't know the other two.
we need to pray more.
Yeah,
I
same
don't know
thing
what to do.
because I do have that situation, Ajahn, in my life. Because I was thinking my parents abandoned me. It was not. That's I thank my wife. She been my counselor. She is counseling me about that because in that time, I believe that my mom, my dad sent me far away to have my education. And then when the time I faced the sickness or everything that I said, maybe my mom, my dad does not love me. That's why let me, suffer. That I always keep in my mind until one day almost explosive inside my brain, my heart. That's why all the time I had that kind of feeling. So my wife said, no, that is not. She have a way since we got married that time. So it's pretty young, like maybe about 15 years, 16 years, and that time we start married that time. So now I completely healed that. I remember that. That's very, very hurt. Yeah.
Yep. Now you see that a lot of problem is come from misunderstanding
Mm-hmm.
and miscommunication. And you might be surprised that this is one of the big problem in our family.
Yes.
Miscommunication.
Ajahn, right now we working on one. It's so difficult. So pray for us.
Yes.
We need more prayer and wisdom from God how to deal with this two more.
Need all the student, classmate too, please pray for us too.
But we don't want, they don't want to let us to, say who they are. But we're working on it right now.
So we might have this one for the homework too, Ajahn.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, but you will deal with all kind of problem. And you will learn more by dealing with people. But one thing I could warn you is don't take it personal. Whatever problem is, you try to help them from the biblical perspective. and don't take it personally. Now, when you feel too personal, what should you do?
Ajahn, this is the point I want to ask.
Sometimes when you feel this problem or situation is too personal, sometimes you have to withdraw yourself out of the position as counselor because you cannot do your job the right way.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
So better let someone else get involved and do it. Because when you try to help people, you have to be someone from outside, not someone inside. But sometimes when you have no choice, you need to depend on God a lot. But it could be very difficult. Now, it ever happened to you that sometimes the people who have problem have different gender from you? You feel that you feel comfortable dealing with someone else opposite sex. For example, if you're a male and a female need counseling from you, how you deal with that?
Get your wife involved. I don't know what
Yeah,
that means.
in many situations, get your wife involved. That will help a lot of situations. But if you let your wife get involved, you need to talk with her first about a few rules. First, your wife need to keep everything private and secret. She cannot take the story out and share with the whole world or the whole church. No, this is secret, private. And a lot of time, your wife just there to support, not to advise. So unless you have all the training and qualified to do that, if not, she there just to be a support.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Ajahn, because since
Yeah.
if you counseling a lady, you need to have either, two people, that being with you as a witness. And that even your wife get involved. I mean, do not get involved in giving just be there to be a support, part of a witness,
Yeah, since this is a Christian counseling, it's different from regular counseling.
Okay, Ajahn, one more question. If, for example, if the client decline, she or he don't want to have a second person or the one what she or he chooses. So what should we do?
Well, when we talk about someone, sometimes that person might not need to sit in the room, but be there to know that there is a counseling session going on. Sometimes it's good enough. Somebody outside the room be there to know that the counseling going on.
Thank you, Ajahn.
And you always ask the person first that can your wife or the third person be there. If they don't want it, it's okay. We can let the person outside the room.
John, do we have to ask them first, can I record the session, or do you know, keep just in case?
Normally they don't record or this very private, so they don't record anything. You can keep record, but I think modern day like you record by phone or by video, this is rarely happen because the problem of privacy. Most of the time, the counselor will take some note so they can do follow-up or can advise. But normally, nobody record by video or audio.
Ajahn,
Yes.
Back to that, if that person declined to have one the third person be there, it's a good thing to decline and maybe find someone that willing to do it, because I think it will not look good having a man.
Make a recommendation to a lady.
Yeah. For example, if a lady want to have counseling with a man and the man wanted the third person and lady decline it, I think it's good to look for and refer to a lady counselor.
Yeah, it depends on situation. A lot of time the third person is not in the room, but outside the room. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes you still don't feel comfortable because of the situation. You can decline. It depends on what kind of counseling, what's going on too. But most of the professional counseling is private, one-on-one. But the Christian counseling, we also have a group counseling. Sometimes some situation, you put more than one people in the group because they have the similar situation. And you can put a group instead of one person. You know that the AA group start in church at a group counseling, and it's spread out all over the world. AA group is the counseling for people who are addicted to alcohol. It starts in church at a group counseling. Okay, you have any more questions on chapter 2 and chapter 3? So next week, we don't have class, okay? I will send you chapter 4, chapter 5 for you to study in advance. Next week, my church will have retreat, so I have to be there. We have retreat on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can read the lesson that I will send you in advance. Any more questions? If not, I could give you allow 15-minute break. Yeah. Yep. Okay.